is on the gas, my whole crew I help with. I want mine in cash, want it all, I'm selfish. Never gave a fuck, I'm bad, I cannot help this. Caught up in my ways, counting days till I'm fucking out this. Whoa, roll up 20 deep, little homie, build a snap. Like, whoa, put 100 down and put us on the map. Like, whoa, y'all ain't even know the place I had to go. In my soul, lost a part of me, but I won't lose control. Gas, my whole crew I help with. I want mine in cash, want it all, I'm selfish. Never gave a fuck, I'm bad, I cannot help this. Caught up in my ways, counting days till I'm fucking out this. Whoa, roll up 20 deep, little homie, build a snap. Like, whoa, put 100 down and put us on the map. Like, whoa, y'all ain't even know the place I had to go. In my soul, lost a part of me, but I won't lose control.
Well, here we are finally live, and there it is, Igor LaneX again in my YouTube channel to cast another Africa Mobile Championship match. Here alongside Connie Casts, our dear friend from England. How are you doing, Connie? What's up, mate?
Yeah, but no, I'm doing fantastic. It's been a busy week, but we're more than happy to be joined for some African Codmobile Championship action. We're nearly into the tournament, though. Last time I was here, I was right at the start and losers round 1. Since then on, lost a few teams, lost a few players. We're now down to our final few, so we have really got some tense matches going up here.
Yeah, exciting to see the live teams for the rest of the competition. We're gonna have a look at the brackets in a bit. which are looking very, very exciting, very interesting, since AC Sports is dominating the field and they're actually moving onwards to try to have a spot in the grand finals of tomorrow. Today's match is gonna be a best of 7 maps, to be fair, between Ace PHARO and Ace Jan, two lines on this organization, which is African. But I wanna say hello and thanks so much for all my friends hopping into here, especially for the moment the Brazilian followers that I have for a long time. So Sulista, Kuro, Ronnie, abraço meus amigos, obrigado por estarem na área e vamos nessa. Great, Connie is with me. Let's see what is gonna happen in this match. We are ready. I'm gonna actually hop into the game room. Otherwise, the guys are gonna leave me behind, Connie. But tell me a little bit.
Go for it, man.
I mean,
whatever's needed to be done.
Tell me what you think about the draft. I'm gonna bring to the screen right now, and then in some seconds you're gonna be able to see the rotation of maps. Very interesting and curious rotation. Totally different from everything we've been seeing these last years, to be fair. Beginning with Hardpoint Slums, man. Wow.
Okay, interesting. I feel like that was quite a key pick for the start of Mobile Masters, actually. I think the first few rounds, especially in lots of the seminal matches, maybe Glorious 2, Slums was quite frequent in the pool. But at the start of a series, it's very rare. You know, usually you sort of warm into a Slums. It's quite a risky pick, but I mean, given the stature, given responsibility, I suppose maybe in African Mobile Championship, it would work fairly well. Coastal Search and Destroy is a new one. Haven't actually casted that map yet, so this is my debut, and be interested to kind of figure out most of the concepts and the approach in terms of how tactical the teams are going to be in Search and Destroy. Back-to-back raid though, yeah, very much home for me, especially Control. We haven't really seen, you know, deviation from raid and Arsenal, and I guess it kind of warrants it being an Arsenal Control right at the end. Search and Destroy and Takeoff, I gotta respect it. I think Search and Destroy and Takeoff, given that it can be the biggest swing map of the bunch, that map number 5, it's going to put a lot of responsibility on both the Ace teams. I'm going to happily say that one.
Yeah, I agree. I think this Search and Destroy Takeoff has been quite an update on the competitive map pools recently, especially after what we saw on Mobile Masters recently in Brazil. So I'm very curious to see. As you said, it can be pretty much a swing map, and to the end of it all, we may have still an Arsenal to be at the control mode. So it's gonna be very, very interesting to see how things are gonna flow in some minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have Tori as well in our chat. Hey guys, so please hit the follow button and of course share the stream, because today is in English. Tomorrow I'm going to be casting in Brazilian, Portuguese with Jigjoy, and I'm hoping Connie does not steal me from Portuguese. I think he wants me to cast in English.
Tested quite a lot, Igor. You know, I know you're going to be enjoying tomorrow, of course, in Portuguese, but in terms of the English broadcast, I think I'll figure out a way to get that up and running so that we've got, of course, both access to both channels, and communication and language is going to be very expressive. Looking forward to that one.
Surely it's going to be exciting, folks. As you all know, we have a nice team, a nice squad of casters that I've been helping myself proudly to assemble and get together. So Connie, proudly here with Narski as well. We also had Kali. We've had the chance to have him in some matches, but I don't think we're gonna have him for today or tomorrow, because you know, Philippines are facing national emergencies, so I'm hoping he's safe. I have sent him a message. He's a very beloved Garena caster. But for the day today, Connie, we're gonna see how this game is gonna roll, as we are streaming right now to my YouTube channel and also to the African Mobile Championship YouTube channel. So hey guys, feel free to rotate between the channels, share both links, and go, well, call your friends and family and your puppies to watch with us this match, which is gonna be good. Connie, do you have puppies? I don't know, that was very random, right? Do you have any kids or puppies?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, given who play Codmobile, regular card puppies is not a bad suggestion, you know. Lost puppies, that's the next question, I suppose.
All right. Okay, I think I lost the last piece of your voice. Let me see. Are you hearing me?
Oh, no, I hear you. I just muted myself, you know, because I was on the verge of sneezing. I was on the verge of sneezing, so... I'm
very smart.
Thinking about what's going to be said from my mouth and whether or not hay fever season's kicking in, because it's summertime now in the UK, and it's a change of climate, and my nose is not appreciating it.
Well, yeah, okay, it's okay. I mean, we're transitioning from season to season here in America as well, as we, you know, get away from the winter. I don't like this transition. I love the winter, you know. I love the cold
Same.
times, right? You're a London guy. You have to say that, right?
Yeah, I guess. The heat's appreciated only for like a week. I'd definitely love to be like that winter guy all year round. I know some people don't like it because it's just, it gets dark earlier, it's colder. But snow! Well, there's snow. Snow's pretty nice, especially, you know, when all you're used to in this country is rain, or maybe even
yeah,
a hot summer's day. So, yeah. Got a bit of a bias there, as you can tell.
I want to take the chance of shouting out my friend Sefia from Asphalt 9. She's the beast, the legend from the Brazilian community scene when it comes to Asphalt 9, which is very cool and neat car game. We also have Decio. Guys, thank you so much for staying with us. I know it's not easy to see me. It's not, you're not used to seeing me speaking in English in a full stream, but just hop it in because the games are going to be very interesting, so stay with us. And Connie, we have now the chance of taking a look into the brackets. Just before the action begins and kicks off, we have the opportunity here to see the way the teams took to these finals. And let's remind that this is going to be a West finals match between Ace PHARO and Ace Jan. On the other side, let's say the East finals already happened earlier today with Casts Esports winning the match. So the winner of this best of 5 maps game today is gonna be facing Cast Esports. So we're talking about the winner from this region on Africa against Cast Esports in a match that is gonna happen tomorrow. And my friend Connie, we can say that these teams, they have fought hard, right? I mean, I can see a lot of 3-2 on map series over here.
I think one of the biggest shocks as well, given that Ace PHARO were tipped to be the favorites to win the whole damn thing, is how close they went in the winners finals against their sister org, I'd say, Ace Gen. Went to a map 5, and even in the lower bracket, Ace Gen handily disposed of Rage Gaming, to which Rage Gaming actually started all the way back in losers round 1. We watched them both, Igor, and they were a team that comfortably dispatched of Ace Matrix. They were unfortunate in facing the most dominant team and the #1 seed arguably in that winners round 1, but it's just sort of a taboo, if you will, a difficult way to structure. So this is your deserved grand finalist, but getting stuck into a Slums Hardpoint in map number 1, it really gets at the tempo for the rest of the day. Let's get right into it. Ace PHARO, Ace Gen, winner goes through, faces off in one massive grand final. Let's get stuck into this one, Igor.
Oh yeah, let's hop in this one. It's gonna be very exciting to see the Ace sibling lines and squads facing each other in this game that is beginning right now. As we can see, Hardpoint mode for Slums is a very strange combination that mounts up to many years ago, but let's see what's gonna happen. Folks, thanks for staying with us. Thanks all my friends for the help. Let's see what is gonna happen already in the first point, which is gonna be in the core of the map, right, Connie? So we are seeing the P1 dominated in a very complicated area, which is a very wide open space of the map to be totally controlled, and the teams are gonna begin rotating soon enough to the P2.
I mean, arguably, the first two is always a 50-50 for both teams to actually acquire time, but from the get-go, it has been Ace PHARO's hill to lose. I mean, sacrificing most of their players now in the last 15 for a contest, as well as allowing just most of the opportunity to sanction themselves to get ready for that P2. Although, of course, PHARO already there, not too far on the hills. Ace Gen are actually rotating through mid-map. More players playing an aggressive line, ready for the rotation and for the head-to-head fights.
Oh, yeah, the game is getting good. As we see, especially now, Ace Gen getting back on track and doing something, responding, and already doing a better job on the second hill in this first map of the series. Guys, thank you so much for staying with us, and thank you so much for the help when it comes to the audio and the image. It is challenging for sure to, as I can say, cast in another language and also control the stream and also change the camera of the players, but it's Codmobile, and we love this whole thing. So here we are. It's gonna be the last seconds of the P number 2, and I would say, Connie, that Ace PHARO, they already redominated the position, but they're gonna face a very increasingly hard challenge to take down as Ace Gen are getting back into the position. We already rotate with Ace PHARO to the third point. I mean, they are using their points. They got an edge, so they gotta use this somehow.
Again, really in the driver's seat, Ace PHARO are. The problem with Gen, again, we saw in that last P2, they sent 4 players around the backside to break for scrap time. Given the rotation and given the geography of this map, they haven't really purchased enough time to even sprint for a hill chain. They're more or less sacrificing positioning just for control of that scrap time, which is kind of a concept you don't really want to explore this early on. Still only a 12-point game. A nice couple kills, especially with PHARO pulling out the specialists to really control and lock down this P3. Igor.
Fantastic job using the Annihilator. Now we have also the War Machine on the hands of Igor, one of the strongest players in this squad, in this lineup, along with Katsu, who is already making a massive amount of kills, almost mounting up to 20 eliminations to this first point. Ace PHARO managing to get closer to the 100 points. If they manage to do this P3, P4 rotation, it's going to be kind of easier when you compare to other kind of rotations as we have in Hardpoint. But now, they are looking solid so far, fighting hard. The kill feed is becoming more hybrid. And I see that Ace, Gen are also trying to work on the retake strategy, Connie. I don't know if you are able also to see that or agree with me, but I would say that Ace, Gen, they are fighting back in a stronger way. But like, Ace PHARO, they are getting first, and Ace Gen are fighting back. So it's been a bounce. It's been a very interesting game.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. I mean, ignore the scoreline here because Ace Gen actually are taking lots of the head-to-heads to Ace PHARO now and nearing the end of that P5. The biggest problem, though, again, is that they're playing contested hills. They're not actually having enough room or window to soak up time because Ace PHARO have done so well with the cut-off kills, controlling the lanes, and even just sticking Katsu inside of here with an LMG, with a very heavy rifle. It's just easy to spam shots. The balls are so easy to wallbang. Collaterally speaking, the last 30 seconds here are going to be huge, especially for Ace PHARO. It scales their lead now to around the 100-point mark.
Yes, there they are with 120 points and applying pressure against Ace Gen in this first rotation, which is coming to its end. As we see Grace rotating to the middle of the map, I think I have not casted before Ace Gen, and I am proud of them. But again, Ace PHARO showing why they have defeated the Rage Gaming earlier in this competition. So the guys are cooking. They are doing a good job so far. Already dominating the spots for the second P1. As we see a margin of 100 points almost being built up. Again to the side of Ace PHARO with a nice and steady pace. Not being like anxious or too eager to dominate the kill positions. But Ace Gen, they gotta have to do more. And they are finding momentum. They're gaining chances here, Connie, that they were expecting at the beginning.
Just 2 specialists now into Ace PHARO. Gen, they scale a few more in, and it's been a very difficult opportunity now, but their first good look thus far on a Hardpoint is coming in this fashion. 30 seconds still to play for, and at this point now, if we are talking about the state of play for Ace Gen and their game state payoffs, it's about getting time. Look at the numbers, 4 stacked in towards Hill. A very huge push coming from the south side of the map in which Ace PHARO look to execute, or at least try and spend some hunter-killer drones on this point to push them off it, shove them away. Because realistically, it comes down to, again, how much time can you get per hill if you are in the court of Ace Gen, whereas Ace PHARO can play for contest, sponge 10 seconds, and still maintain that lead, Igor.
Oh yeah, dominating and as you said, like managing the advantage as we see them rotating to the second P2. Thanks guys for staying with us. Please share the stream and tell us if everything is flowing well. As we see now, finally Katsu pulling out the Annihilator to be a dominant force on the right flank of this. Oh, nice bullet. That was crispy. But again, they are playing as a team. They are having a stronger side when it comes to trading. And Katsu, speaking of which, 31 eliminations now, and Ayur with 21. So these guys are killing more. Even though Ace Gen, they are trying to get the back to the control map, Connie.
Still, impressive numbers. I mean, Katsu really hasn't slowed down at all and really instigated lots of those 4 kills, 5 kills, easy white blue kill feeds in which Ace PHARO have been looking for. Rotating over to the next hill. So, of course, very similar to what we saw in the first set of rotations. Ace PHARO already committing early. It's where Ace Gen were stuck in a spawn trap, stuck for scrap time on P2. and playing the same line, the same aggressive push out of Slums, out of mid-map, that it just really sets up some easy crossfires for Ace PHARO. Look at Katsu, it's just damaging. There's no possible way to break through from the right side of the map, let alone now when you start getting numbers over. It's down to Homer on a crossfire to support and maintain an easy time. And again, we're actually seeing a very good look here from Ace Gen. First 20 seconds will go their way, Igor, and one last contested push from the south side of the map for Ace PHARO.
Domination, yes, pretty solid on the side of Ace Gen so far. Managing to get to the 100 points, and the Annihilate on the hands of Device is totally destroying them so far. With his Hunter Killer to keep things flowing. Nice job protecting the OBJ. And there it is, they are not suffering any potential retake effort by Ace PHARO so far. Another Hunter Killer. And I would say that margin of 100 points, it's being melted down on the favor of Ace Gen since they get to the 130 points. But the second P4 apparently is gonna go to the hands of Ace PHARO begin in the first seconds. They are rotating to there, they're dominating the response as well, and Katsu hops into the point with this very dangerous Fennec. He's gonna be using to these close combats. So we try to see him move around without being taken down at first. Lunar also protecting the spot with an equalizer. So nice investment on the side of Ace Gen so far. So here, Connie, because they already bring 2 operators to try to dominate this region.
And the weight of Skeletor's operators has been fantastic. Of course, we mentioned players like Katsu have got the eliminations on the board, but equally to match again, Grace is doing the same work, only with a different style of approach. It's flashy, it's gorgeous. It's scaled back now to only a 30-point deficit, and it's put Ace Gen in a position now where they can start taking control, really swing the map back in their favor, Igor.
Yeah. Wow, Grace being gracious here. Nice movements, combining, I would say, the operators with the primary weapons. And we can say that, Connie, these teams, they are totally in another level. They have upgraded their gameplay levels since day one to these regional finals here. Fantastic movements and a very, very even Hardpoint map so far to see and to watch. Very, very cool to see the efforts. As we have seen that Ace PHARO, they have began the map in a better positioning, but then Ace Gen, they got back on track and they found their own way as we move into the third P1 here. And the difference, the margin in points is totally balanced now. It is not, definitely it's not anymore that Ace Gen that began Slums.
We'll be seeing a 4-set rotations here potentially, Igor. That's how neck and neck it has been on most of these hills, but it really alarms all the bells in both courts. Really, they haven't gotten as much time as you'd expect, and that's a concerning fact given we are in the closing stages. At this point now, you really will start to see a team separate and really scale away and take the map by storm, but it just hasn't been the case. It's been wonderful from Ace Gen to really bring themselves back in the picture, and a nice late 1v1 as well on the opposite side of the map. They're really hunting down for the rotation, and it's a big kill in which is found by Ace Gen. They've got control of rotation now. This P2 is very easy to set up.
Oh yeah, pretty cool to set up, and the battle is gonna be as intense as we have seen in the last hills. And I wanna just point out that it is very interesting to see the African scene hopping up and having leads when it comes to managing their own damage. Sorry, metas here. We see 2 type 9 teams on the hands of both sides, and also some Fennecs. So the teams are bringing the Western style of play combined with the Eastern as well, as we see some DRH now on the hands of Igor. The captain of the team of Ace PHARO is really on fire. He's trying to bring his team up, and we have team rotating in the middle of the map trying to go down. He was taken down, so definitely a third P2, way more balanced than before, Connie.
Smooth as you like. 217 to 188, and just a lone specialist on the side of Ace PHARO at this point. The Annihilator did so much damage for Ace Gen in the backside of P2, but really we are seeing their own game being played against them, Ace PHARO. Look at the team rotation and the 4 players committed for this new hill onto Ace Gen. They're setting up here for 60 points minimum, and they really have scaled this well. But a simple push and a couple kills going the way of Ace Gen actually actually halt the first wave of fights and the actual initial push that we were meant to see from Ace PHARO to break into this point. It's fantastic. They're stalling time now, Ace Gen. And in this position as well, 2 ARs, you can set a crossfire. Maybe the Hunter Killer Drone might find some impact on this hill, albeit we've only really spent 1 operator and 1 extra streak is in reserve for Ace PHARO. They bought so much opportunity, but Vapex can bring it back. That's a nice 2 to hold off the initial push again.
And I'm gonna tell you this, if Ace Gen keep pacing and playing at this pace in the game, they're gonna totally steal this map from Ace PHARO because they are so solid, looking so strong in this third P3, and now they're gonna totally go for P4 as we have VPEX using the type in the middle of the map, trying to already make the early clearings on the surrounding areas. He hops in, nice job in the window, comes in and goes for the second eventual combat. There it is, they're gonna totally do this one. It's gonna be fantastic to see Ace Gen stealing the map. Now they were so much behind, they were so behind compared to Ace PHARO. Now they are going for this one, only 7 points to finally dominate this Hardpoint Slums. There it is, let's see if Ace PHARO gonna have any kind of chance yet. Grace taken down, TAC 5 working pretty well in the hands of the Doma, and we have a lot of smokes inside of the space. Oh, nice positioning again to be a human turret. He was preventing them from coming back. Ace PHARO though, managing to also get into the OBJ. The last 30 seconds of this hill are gonna be crazy, man.
I know, look at this right now. 3-point game, 5 away from winning it if you are in Ace Gen's court. It's blue kills across the board. Katsu's holding an Annihilator and a strong pre-aim as well. They were necessary kills to find as a first map. We'll go all the way to Ace PHARO. They come into this one with 1 up advantage already in the winner's bracket. Now they're currently 2-0 up against Ace Gen. A beautiful kickoff there in the Slums Hardpoint, Igor.
What a map! That's all I have to say. Fantastic effort. And finally, Ace PHARO, who already came into this best of 7 map series with a map of advantage, they finally managed to increase this edge to a 2-0 against Ace Gen. Very exciting wrap up of a map with a 250, 245. Look at this, Connie. Only 5 points of difference. And this team, they are not kidding. They want to go to the grand finals tomorrow with a Katsu with 55 eliminations. This man is a beast. He's trying to play at a Lucasine level, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's a great example. One of the best ARs in the world, but Katsu's got a long way to go. If we're talking about that caliber of player, it was an impressive show nonetheless. And we definitely showed a candle to Grace as well. Equally, 51 kills for Ace Gen in the same spot. Again, where we saw 2 players sort of head to head in terms of the kill department, but also scaling the map in the similar fashion. They both are catalysts for their respective teams. So in terms of style of play, it's almost as if, you know, when it comes to an actual mechanical being, you know, these 5 players being greater than what the team dynamic is really meant to be for either side, you would put Grace and you'd put Katsu right at the front of that. They seem to be representatives of not just great Slayers, but also great IGLs to a degree. I think they've got some good leadership tendencies, and the way they were setting up the breaks as well from both portions, it really was blow for blow, Igor.
Was very, very nice to see, as you said, and combining the individual efforts. For example, on the side of Ace PHARO, we had like Katsu with 55 kills, and also Grace, as you pointed out, being a very, very dominant offensive piece on their cog. So Grace doing very well, and I mean, both teams also dominating the map and playing to the objective, to a point where we had like 3-4 OBJs on both sides. So they have tried to combine efforts and of course aspects of the game, doing such a great job in the first map. And I love, Connie, how like Ace Gen, they got back into energy. They did not let themselves to be beaten down, you know, like when you begin losing a lot of hills in a row, you begin to be less confident, but that did not happen to them. Quite opposite. I would say the mid game was crucial to them, and they got back to life.
I think that's one of the more interesting concepts, right? And it makes sense, especially given that it was 100-point gap on the first set of rotations for Ace Gen to make up for, and they did very well. It was just Grace was the sole reason behind that. But I think, again, we're going to a brand new world in the next map here. So we're up now currently if you're in Ace PHARO's court, going to Coastal Search and Destroy. Now, again, this is a new one for me and Igor, especially given, again, with the rotations and the patch notes. It's been a little bit of an interesting concept seeing this being adjusted to, but nonetheless, let's see how it plays. Round 1 in the S&D. Makes a lot of sense given that, we're going to go for a little bit of a reset here. I think my
Oh.
team's now getting adjusted. I think maybe a little lobby error might be in play. We don't really like those too much, but they do happen nonetheless. So I guess in the meantime, Coastal, hey, new map, opportunity. I'm quite excited overall, Igor.
Yes, so let's see what is gonna happen. Let's see how this new map is gonna roll. And I want to appreciate so much Japa Tamashiro from Brazil for bringing his folks. Thanks so much. He's totally rating me at this moment. So, Japa Tomanuki, eu te amo. Obrigado pela ajuda, obrigado pelo carinho, valeu. He's a Brazilian creator on the CodeM community. So, Japa, thank you so much. We love you, man. Yes, I'm casting in English along with Connie Casts the African Mobile Championship, so it's a pleasure to have all of my friends from Brazil, all of my friends from the world. It's very nice to have you all guys over here. Fantastic afternoon and night when it comes to London, right, Connie, to see these beasts playing now. So Coastal Search and Destroy, it's totally changed. I have never casted this combination in my entire career in CodeM, and we're talking about 5 years here. But I could just see by the map that both bomb sites are kind of in the north, so that's bizarre. I mean, we never have these kind of things, right? Like both sides are lined up in one hemisphere of the map.
I think that's definitely a good concept, right? I think that also kind of raises the stakes a little bit. It makes it more of an interesting product when you're digesting it, especially in a head-to-head sense. Because we've only really seen a couple of players thus far in the form of Grace and Katsu sort of lead the line in terms of slaying potential and being those star players that really stand out in the lobby, the 10-man lobby that we have. It also kind of just puts a precedent of what it is, because with the format of this, all right, we have 6 maps lined up in the best of 7. The winner, bear in mind, the winner of winners bracket going through to grand finals have a 1-map lead. So in terms of format, it puts a lot of pressure on the lower bracket to actually scale into this one. There's not going to be an easy road. They have to win 4 maps concurrent, where the other team, and PHARO, can only win 3, and they will go through to the ultimate grand final to face regions. And that is going to be very much the end goal for PHARO, this concept.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, so Ace Gen, they gotta do more. They gotta hop into this map, number 3 of the series as a whole. It's gonna be the second played map, but to make it easier, let's say it's gonna be a 3rd map. So, 2 new. I mean, Ace PHARO, they are doing their homework, and so far they're beating their opponents to hop into the grand finals of tomorrow. And again, I wanna appreciate the presence of all my Brazilian fans and friends and followers, so thank you guys for staying with us, for being here. Valeu, galera do Brasil, amigos aí, quase 100 amigos nesse momento. Um beijo, né, pra todo mundo que veio pelo Japinho, um beijo aí pro Japa também, muito legal tá recebendo esse carinho dele, essa moral, esse raid com essa nossa transmissão da final regional, né, gente? Essa aqui é a final, só pra vocês saberem rapidinho, final ocidental da Copa Africana, tá bom? Que tá acontecendo aí há vários dias e que eu tô transmitindo em português e em inglês. Só pra dizer pra vocês que estão passando aqui rapidamente, que estão me entendendo em português, amanhã eu vou narrar a grande final desse campeonato aqui no meu canal, em português com a Joy, tá? Então anota aí na sua agenda, amanhã, 6 da tarde do Brasil, eu e Dig Joy em português brasileiro aqui no canal, beleza? Connie, I was just inviting my friends to be also tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm gonna be casting and streaming these matches in Portuguese. So tomorrow they're gonna be, you know, I would say more comfy in our couch here in YouTube, right? Understanding what I said?
Yeah.
And some of my Brazilian friends are saying you have a very, very pretty deep voice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's God-given, you know. I mean, I've had this since the humble age of, let's say, 7 years old. Nah, I'm just kidding. No way anyone on that planet can get it. But yeah, I mean, of course. I think it carries well. It's got a good rhythm and a good feel to it, for sure. We're just waiting right now currently to actually get stuck into the Coastal Search and Destroy. A little lobby reset to really kind of set the tempo. It was a bit of a slow, delayed start. But overall, for the map itself, I've got to kind of draw towards that, Igor. It looks very pretty.
Looks pretty. I would say that Coastal, it may resemble a little bit when it comes to Search and Destroy. It's gonna make us remind of Tunisia, right? Because it's kind of a colorful city-based map, you know, especially, I don't know, with that kind of Tunisia time vibe. I don't have any better example, right? Yeah. Like an Italy vibe, if you want, right? Those short corners and short areas with a fountain in the middle of nothing. So that's pretty much Italy. That's Europe as a whole. And Connie knows that way better than I do, but I've been to Italy. So. Some folks are saying you have the voice of those how can I say, those voice over professionals.
There's voice actors, those voiceover artists. Yeah, no, I know exactly what they're talking about. It's like those videos for those perfume commercials, you know. Like,
yes.
Buy the new Calvin Klein over here. It's just like, you know, those guys just try to sell you stuff. I feel like if I was working on an airplane as an air steward, I'd sell the entire basket just to kind of give you a feel for my work as that salesman, that guy. But I don't know. Maybe we could try and sell this game here, I suppose, right, Igor? Maybe we can actually kind of get a feel for what's going to happen. For actual context to what it is African Mobile Championship. We're in the regional grand final for the Ace clan, if you will. They've entered 2 teams. Both teams have gone for upper and lower bracket. Ace PHARO have actually gone through the upper bracket. They've got a one map lead in the best of 7. So they're 2 up currently. We're going to Search and Destroy right now, where again, if it gets extended to 3-0 lead, it's basically series point, and it's not a good look for Ace Gen to really scale back in.
Oh yeah, let's see how that's gonna play out. I'm very, very curious to see this Coastal Search and Destroy. Taking the chance again of praising our friends for being here. This is gonna be the ranking. We can see now the brackets and everything that rolled before. Since round 1 going to round 2, we're gonna have again the chance to see both Ace lineups playing in some brief moments, and tomorrow we're gonna see the grand finals, Casts Esports versus the winner of Ace PHARO versus Ace Gen. So such a nice run by the teams. Thank you guys for staying with us. I cut back to our camera because as soon as I showed the draft and the map pool and the brackets, we began losing some viewers. So let's get back to Connie, our actor and model here, so that we can retain some viewership. Connie, help me out on this one, really.
Oh man, I'm a marketing piece. I love it. And why wouldn't I be, right? I mean, myself, you, casters, Codmobile. Oh wow, honestly, what a great life. I feel like though, you know, like some of my friends in real life were going to that level. I think I've gotten comparisons to like Barry White and other deep soul singers before.
Barry White,
like,
that's true.
Yeah, with like really deep voices that, like, you know, you can feel it in the ground when they speak.
Yeah. You also remind me, man, of that very old, like, not he's the, I mean, these days he's an old guy, but he used to be an Iron Maiden vocalist, the main singer, the lead singer. Do you remember him? What is his name?
I know his name.
You have his voice, man, to be fair.
I think it's Bruce. I think it's Bruce.
Yeah. No.
Bruce Dickinson.
No,
yeah,
Bruce
no, it was Bruce
He's the guy
Dickinson.
before
yeah,
him.
And I've just touched it. Yeah, okay. No, he is rock solid. Like, that guy has got like some like granite pipes of anything. So yeah, big compliment. I like Bruce Dickinson, although I haven't been to an Iron Maiden concert since I was a little kid, which I guess was actually a great present when I was younger. But you know, obviously,
yeah. I mean,
what can I say? Maybe that inspired my deep voice. Maybe I'm actually Bruce Dickinson's son. Who knows? We'll get a DNA test. We'll find it out ourselves off camera.
All right. I mean, wow, you will be lucky if you were his kid. Very, very, very rich new kid. Suddenly, right? Imagine the amount of money the guy has. But anyways, man, I cannot find the name of the guy. He's a nice fella. But it's not Paul Diano. It's another one. You guys, I mean, obviously our viewers would never know because they're all younger than we are. But I want to just, again, take the chance of shouting out to Ace Gamers Esports. All of our friends, thanks so much for staying here, for keeping with us. Please stay a little bit more. The match is almost restarting as we're going to have Coastal Search and Destroy. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this thing is going to roll. I mean, my deep knowledge, which is not deep, I mean, it's as deep as a kid's pool, but it's from playing Coastal on ranked. So, I don't know. I don't last much. I mean, I'm not a good player, so I don't know. What do you think? What other ideas do you have for Coastal Search and Destroy, Connie, that you would like to approach?
So as a first timer for this map, I'm kind of curious to see exactly what the breakoffs would look like for both teams and whether they're very site heavy towards one. I feel like in Call of Duty across a number of titles, you kind of have 3 schools of thought. Is their preferred site? do we have better correlation and confidence in our nade and utility usage? Or can we just rush mid, you know, be those guys that just send 5 into an open space and then just take the close range gunfights, or even just ADS and hope to get the first shot off, right? It's kind of how these sort of evolved or devolved for the last, I'll say 5 to 6 years. It's been that way for a while. I would serve Coastal. Again, I'd love to see again just how defense side heavy it is. I'd also like to see as well, have players been to nade school? Have they kind of found chinks in the map yet? Will we see that on camera today? Because it doesn't take long to take an hour out of your day as a player and go through this map in a private lobby and kind of figure out how it works and what spots you'd like to play just on concepts, and then take it into ranked. Because in ranked, again, you have a weird mixture of people, Igor. You have like some of the best players in the world at any given time. Just like, you know, never heard this guy before, but he's just killing you every single time and he's playing so damn good. And then you've got like, you know, guys from the pub, guys from the bar, who are your teammates most of the time.
Yeah,
I feel like it's the ranked experience.
I really don't know what is gonna happen. It's so strange to see to think of this combination again. We have a very, very close bomb. I don't know how that's gonna be explored. It's gonna give us like Tunisia vibes, but I really don't know what is gonna happen. Well, I myself have not been seeing the game start. Guys are saying the game is on, but we are just waiting here.
We are. We can confirm that we are all sat in the lobby right now and nothing's happened. So I'm not really sure if there's an admin 15-minute toilet break in place or like a tech pause. We're getting to the bottom.
Oh, yeah, I really don't know. I'm gonna just show the production how things are so that they can
me
see.
too. Let's just double check just to make sure that we're not going crazy here.
Yeah, okay. It's a Codmobile bug then. I mean, it has to be, right? Jeez. Guys,
thank you, Activision.
Thank you so much for this. Another...
That's fine. We'll find out afterwards anyway. It's just annoying, but
yeah.
To get the game's a game. I suppose game's game.
Yes. Well, I don't know what is going on now, guys, but just stick with us for some more minutes as we're gonna see these two teams playing in a very, very high level. I think we have seen them in action in a little bit, like when it came to Slums, Hardpoint, and especially for Ace Gen, right? These guys, they have some nice players. Dwarfy is one of them, very, very consistent player. Adama is another one. I also have to talk about Device and Grace. Grace showed his talents using the operators on this last Hardpoint mode. Breaking into the point, and Device was a very, very, very good guy for the tradings. So both sides are very, very, very solid for this match. Let's see how things are gonna roll in a little bit, so be a little bit more patient, and we're gonna be back real quick with this game, which is gonna be back on track very soon. So stay with us. I'm just gonna roll a quick commercial for Africa Mobile Championship. Stay with us. Things are fancy in this stream, as you can see.
Okay.
Yeah. We are back, my friends, and that was the fastest experience casting one map in my entire history in Korea. Okay, Coastal is bugging. We're not gonna be showing that map. Things are not gonna roll over there, so let's just hop into a control raid. I don't know who won this one. Let me just check again. Alright, so I don't know if you guys are ignoring it. Let's see an update potentially on the scoreboard. As we already see the first movements here, my friend Connie with Ace Jan hopping into B.
Again, Utility's thrown over the top for Ace PHARO if they want to try and break away from this. As they sacrifice a full minute here, this is a good bit of the time which Ace Gen can use. Then again, you got there in the game state here. 2 minutes left, pretty much full maximum lives for both sides, and it's going to have to be at least 6 attempts here for Ace Gen to break onto B. And the way they're playing it again is mid-control into money, into kitchen. They're trying to create an awkward spawn paradox. They want to fence in all of Ace PHARO in basketball courts and the back spawns into laundry to really maximize their chances. You know just how hard it is, especially for teams to cap this point.
Yes, as you said, the money spot being dominated by Ace PHARO, who came and totally installed themselves into A, and I like this movement. They are looking pretty solid so far over here as Adama is using the bar head glitch we had earlier in this very positioning. Dwarfy utilizing the money spot to bring his team aboard and strongly to this side over here inside of raid control. Guys, we have seen a very fast takeover of B by Ace Gen, and they are finally putting the pieces and investing into A. As B was, as I said, fastly dominated. We have Device trying to mount up. This is going to be a very interesting attack by Ace Gen to try to come over and precisely surpass the smokes with Device using the RIH to bring this very nice and steady level of damage the weapon has. But Ace PHARO is not giving up. They are still there, and it's going to be a very interesting final battle for round 1, Connie.
Again, only 2 life difference, but still, if you are in Ace PHARO's position, this is very positive. Very good. They've got control of Tiki Bar. They're flooding players through mid. There's only 2 cutting off from Ace Gen to actually take point, but these nades are flying high to actually contact on the front side here. It whittles down, but hang on a second. We were in a 3v6. What's all this? Necessary kills found through mid. It actually paid off well for Ace Gen here. Still, one flawless hold is up for grabs here. Positioning is very much bettering Ace PHARO in this setup. They've got 2 stashed in money and 1 watching the mid stairs. That's why it pays off so well. Last player alive, all alone, stuck inside, wrapping through. It's going to be down to Adema just to get a couple shots off, but that was a flawless attacking round. What was a 9-11 really scaled quickly into the other side, Igor. It just paid off. Those kills in mid really benefited the numbers.
Yes, and we have just seen that Ace Gen, they are the retake team. They can be nominated this way because they are the retakers. They do such a great job into using the math into their favor and stacking up into positionings and able to regain positions, regain terrain, and open this scoreboard with a 1-U as we have Device trying to use the Annihilator. We're gonna see now this flip on sides. As we know, Ace PHARO now on the defensive, attacking side. They were defending before, now they're attacking. They're gonna try to hop into A, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna do this because Dwarfy likes a lot this window position. Let me see if Adama is gonna be surviving for a while. It's interesting to see that the basketball is in the hands of Ace PHARO, and they're doing such a great job to dominate the respawn, also the money. So I do not see, Connie, so far the Ace Gen power of retake working to their side since they're losing in lives especially.
Difficult to actually guesstimate what the take's going to look like, but it's a good opportunity given that Ace PHARO on attack have gotten rid of the biggest hurdle. That A tick, that A point is out the picture. With 2 minutes on the board to play for B, it really maximizes your opportunity here just to have that strong attacking round. But really look at the specialists available. That's 4 on the board for Ace PHARO, looking to actually reserve and hold on to these for the remaining few waves. And I respect the call. You only really want to lock them in, especially when you get 4 dead. That's your ideal scenario to then enforce a spawn trap, because the Annihilator by Katsu actually isolates a good long-range fight, but albeit, again, if you can't connect a shot, that's a crucial 1v1 to lose.
Yeah, there we have The retake again by Ace Gen was fantastic. They managed to totally expel Ace PHARO from that spot, and they were looking so good. But Ace Gen just totally pocketed them and smashed them, as I like to say, against the wall, calling them a worm. And they had not only done that, Connie, but they are like moving their defensive line. They are like moving to the garage spot and totally pressuring and taking Ace PHARO back to their spots. They're forcing Ace PHARO to rotate now to the south of the map. We are seeing 8 and 11 versus 7 on lives, and 2 operators still active on the side of Ace Gen. This is gonna be a very interesting rob, potentially a 2-0 for them, because they're looking solid on the rotations, on the killing itself, and we see that Ace PHARO, they're losing their pace, they're losing the, I would say, the killing power. They're not the same team as before, man.
No, it's been a very difficult wave, especially to isolate the kills, because look at the way in which Ace Gen are moving. They're stacking 3 players onto B, and then one of that is rotating back into mid constantly just to reinforce any sort of pressure if we were to see a funnel of these Ace PHARO players through to B. But in 1v4, again, it's just feasibly impossible for Tim to isolate a player. Grace converts the kill. 2-0 thus far in the control, and very much this has to be Ace Gen's pick. Given the cards, that is an impressive way in which you can win a defensive half and attacking half, given that both teams decided so strong on the first few breaks on the attacking side.
And as you said before, you have stated this to us brilliantly. Control, take off Hardpoint, okay, but especially control mode usually is a very, very interesting swinging point of the series, and surely Ace Gen are knowing this, and they are using this chance to get back to the series in a very interesting way. So far, before this map, they have lost everything they played against Ace PHARO, but that has definitely not has been the case. Of course, rate control, as we see now, round number 3 rolling. We have Katsu trying to go down into the middle of the map. Doma trying to get back to the basketball, taken down. Very, very hybrid kill feed over here with a focus priority by Ace Gen into the A. Grenade, nice job by Katsu to get down and create a route suddenly. A route into A for the team. There it is. A was dominated by Ace Gen. Now we're gonna see both sides moving into B, and this is gonna be eventually a control ride with 5 rounds. I don't know what you think, Connie, but things are getting spicier.
Yeah, I is literally just keeping Ace PHARO alive by the skin of their teeth thanks to this war machine being invested. It was an early rotation from Ace Gen, originally on the last third of a tick onto A. They swung loads of players over to B, and they can only really deplete again about a third of a tick here. So we're looking at exactly 2 more chances, 2 more sections of time to open up an Ace Gen to clock out of this map for a 3-0 win. But the life count, again, is actually very similar, and we can understand why. A deep route, though, in which we want to see Ace PHARO install to collect a few more kills is being exercised. Katsu just being a nuisance thus far, sliding around with the Fennec and making a meal out of every single kill that can be found if you are an Ace PHARO player. No opportunity can Ace Gen exercise a push because they're split across the map, 2 in the backside, 1 behind Laundry, 3 pushing ramp. It could easily be an isolated fest of kills, a shooting gallery for Ace PHARO.
PHARO sensing the moment and again trying to hold their own positions. We have team hopping into the middle of the map. Now Ace Gen looking very strong on A, on B to be fair, as they dominate all the entry points. We have Device fighting for the core. We have Lunar coming also. 13 versus 12 now, and Grace try to make the flank movement into the point, into the special objective itself. Vapex trying to use the library region. He's trying to come out of the cover. It's gonna be a very, very, I would say, very much slower wrap of round number 3, as we see both sides trying to not lose the pace, and Ace Gen definitely not lose momentum. We have Grace using the war machine, trying to hop for the, I don't know, wider picture on damaging, and Katsu again not using the annihilator in a very long way. Team bringing the equalizer. 6-6, interesting end of map. And we see both sides struggling, and as I said, Connie, to not lose the operators so quickly, because every single point you can have, every damage now, is going to be precious.
beautiful set of kills from Ace PHARO, and look at that map positioning. They've bunkered themselves up on this point. They can't afford to give anything more away. Though how could they? 1v5, the pull-off in which Ace Gen can only realistically achieve if they can isolate these kills. A difficult task for Grace, just sliding around here in red with no real means of an end. It's just been a great set of kills, and the reason Ace PHARO are in this spot was their control-free pillars. They just basically set up a crossfire, Igor. It was punishing. It was a shooting gallery. No chance really for Ace Gen to get through, and it will be around in their fashion.
There it is. And just like that, we see Ace PHARO responding and bringing the first round to show at least that they are in the map, right? Come on, just do more than have been doing so far. But again, such a nice, fantastic pair of lines. Very, very respected already. West African teams, Ace PHARO and Ace Gen, trying to fight for the missing spot in the grand finals tomorrow. We see the B again being the priority. We have team in the corner of the map trying to fight, and a very hybrid, very combined kill feed to this moment, as we have both sides rotating and trying to focus on B on these first seconds of the round here, Connie. Very interesting setup, because now on round 4 they're gonna have to fight again to pile up the operators. They have nothing to use except for Ayur, who brings in a very, very successful war machine at this point. He's gonna have to stay alive. Killing once, it's not enough when you use these very special operators. He's gonna go for the second kill, just like I said, and well, doing, of course, offering a nice contribution to the side.
Difficult to find kills now for Ace PHARO. Kima's actually had to swing so many ADSs out of laundry window just to clear the crossfire, and Grace is being a nuisance as well in driveway. Is actually kind of a semi-transparent spawn trap, right? You're only really partially blocking a few players from spawning up underneath pool house, but the way in which they rotate, this is actually an alarm bell now for Ace Gen. There's a lot of blue players populating mid, and one right outside kitchen. This could be an easy break again. If the audio cues are there and they time their kills, Igor, we can actually see a big adjustment now for Ace PHARO to scale towards spawn trap.
Oh yeah, Ace PHARO are gonna have to adjust. They're gonna have to keep using whatever they found over the way. And in the last round, they just found a very, very defensive effort. They created a system, as you said, setting up a fire line and not allowing Ace Gen to rob this map with the 3 Neo, which will be kind of too much, let's say, considering everything they have been showing up to us so far. We have already the A being the new focus on both sides. Grace using the war machine, what a damage against Dwarfy to take him out, and there it is, Grace again now against Ayur. Nice, nice double kill by him, protecting the spot and being a very, very responsible soldier, keeping his head below the cover and allowing himself also to be very deadly. Grace again, still alive, still with the operator. He's not done yet, almost taking another opponent down. And just like that, we see Ace Gen hopping into the end. It's gonna mean the wrap of the map. 7-6. Well, it's being meltdown, Connie. It's just as we see them finally, you know, being very strong again. They also are beginning to be menaced by Ace PHARO. I don't know, 5-1, and there it is. We're gonna have surely a 2-2. Actually a 3-1 on maps, because Ace Gen are gonna find their first map with this nade by device. Nice work by Ace Gen, and being overwhelming overall in the map, man.
I think it's so impressive and very much a needed map for Ace Gen. It's unfortunate though we couldn't watch the Coastal, because I'd have a complete sort of contrast and idea and how we missed out, because they've been on series point for a while now. Ace PHARO are 3-0 right now, bear in mind. They've actually won the last 2 maps. So Ace Gen have to set themselves up for a massive reverse sweep here, Igor. This is going to have to be a very interesting play if we want to see Ace Gen progress through, win this final and set themselves up for another one.
Oh yeah, and it's not over. Quite the opposite. We're gonna have to see if Ace PHARO are gonna be able to come back and, you know, rob this one with a 4-1, or if Ace Gen are gonna be doing what they just did, winning a map out of nothing. I would say even contradicting the best expectations on both sides. We have some numbers, and they're very interesting. Grace was the man, as I said, 28 eliminations, of course. Greatly due to how well he used the war machine, and Vapex used a lot of rotations and some nice trades over here, over there. And team was also a very, very steady force on the side of Ace PHARO. As we have the final numbers, Connie, for this very interesting best of 7 map series so far. And Grace hopping into almost 30 eliminations on this control raid, man.
I feel like as well, Grace only really got the most of their kills on driveway, right? And that's very positional based. So it goes to show you just how well Ace Gen was spawn trapping on this control. Will they replicate the similar level of pressure on the same map but in Hardpoint? This is where Ace PHARO again are still on series point to actually take away this best of 7, Igor. We're setting ourselves up again for a mountain to climb here if you're Ace Gen. One map, one opportunity, or just one map at a time. There's only really 3 ways you can digest that, but let's get stuck into this first. Till nades will fly over the top of the fight in mid to contest the control.
Oh yeah, so there is. We're again into raid. Just to remind you guys, this is gonna be Hardpoint raid, okay? We have just been into raid control, now a new mode. So yeah, it's also the first time in my life I had the chance of casting the same map, you know, in 2 different modes. I think it's a record, but interesting to see. Okay, nice to see the African scene bringing these new combinations of modes and maps. So thanks guys for staying with us. Let's hop back into raid now for a Hardpoint. First heal very interestingly dominated by Ace PHARO, as we see them killing a lot and also setting themselves behind the head glitches, the covers as we call them, to spell, I would say, Ace Gen out of there. Ace Gen not looking solid for an attempt of a retake on him.
Difficult to actually get through the middle of the map and even aggress through laundry. They just populated the lane so well, and those cutoff points, those bottlenecks are so tight now for Ace Gen to break through. They've reserved utility though, so the break could be easy. Just a 32-6 scoreline. P2's going to be set up. It's going to be a real contest of a head-to-head for initial control.
Oh yeah, complicated to be regained, as we see now Ace PHARO coming again to the kitchen. We could tell that Ace Gen, they were like in P2 before. They're trying to set themselves into the respawn and the OBJ itself to acquire some points on the top of whatever happened on P1. But it's been hard because Ace PHARO, they came also strongly. They are fighting for this one hardly. They are not giving up. We see Grace coming up with the War Machine. What an effort by him against the Doma. I mean, this level of damage, it's just impossible to rebuff, and he's still alive in there. Grace, again with a very deadly War Machine, hopping into 60 points, and a map that is not looking great for Ace Gen so far, Connie, as we're gonna go to Garage, and this rotation, specifically speaking of raid Hardpoint now, P2, P3, it's a long one to do, right? So ideally, you're gonna give up on the last seconds, those scrappy points as we call them, to already go to the next one.
Great kills though being found outside the front of the hill for Ace PHARO, but Gen have got numbers lined up in the front side and they actually will touch contact. A smoke to include vision in the front of the hill to make it easier now for a re-break if you were to see Ace PHARO scale their way back in, but the numbers and the spawns are in red and in pillars for Ace Gen, so it won't be too hard to actually break through and even contest this. Ayer's got a War Machine though, that's 4 dead and 4 more important kills to keep Ace PHARO alive.
Oh yeah, they are alive, they are breathing, they're trying to keep going in this one and also not say goodbye to the competition. So far they are ahead. I like how Ace Gen, they had set themselves to keep the momentum since the last map. We are talking about a very complicated P3, very, very even, as Katsu tries to come again. He's ramping it up and goes for eventually a 3rd one, though. He's going to rotate. A pair of kills is enough to do whatever he needs to do without getting into a very risky zone. Going for a 3rd kill right now against Kala. Vipex coming also in the middle. We're going to be talking about the basketball with a Dwarfy already with the Sparrow. Man, how do you take him out of there? It's gonna be complicated. He's already damaging, and also on the top of that, annihilated in the hands of Katsu. So that's gonna be eventually be meaning like the equal scoreboard.
Difficult setup as well. That Sparrow's bought a lot of time now just for Ace PHARO to plan their next foot in the door. Crossfire though, and water's being optimized as well for Ace Gen to try and break through onto the hill. Reserve utility as well, no trophies in sight. You can get some spam shots over the wall, but that head glitch and the setup in gym is punishing. Predator missile though called in, will find a few kills, necessary enough to break through, but the spawns are close. A crossfire's been set up now for Ace Gen, even inside of money. That smoke's necessary to break through, especially given that PHARO have really closed the margin here, Igor.
Yeah, they are. As you said, this is another map already for Ace PHARO, who are managing to acquire some points themselves. We see finally Ace Jam going to the 100 points. We're gonna have the P5, which is gonna be a very interesting. I love this P5, to be fair, guys. Oh, he made a mistake. The grenade got back, totally bouncing back from the wall. But there it is. As you said, less than 20 points on the core of the map and a very wide open positioning here on raid. So I love this kind of battle. I love how this whole thing is gonna play out, because Katsu is gonna be trying to find a comfy spot. They are looking solid there, and Ace Gen so far, they are giving up. They are not applying a lot of investment or commitment to this one, Connie.
No, there's an opportunity, especially given this is a very 50-50 hill. You can throw anything you want inside. It doesn't really matter, because every kill you get, every time you touch point, there will be a contest nearby. Swings are going to be the name of the game, and the head-to-head actually does set up PHARO for a lot of numbers to break through, but still the necessary kills are found. Luna have the final one to actually install what looks to be a two-person setup in this hill. I say time and time again, throughout Cold War, throughout Black Ops 2, you need around 3 players inside this hill to actually hold it. But the rotations are actually very much centered towards that new P1, the next set, because only a 14-point game, and I really like the way in which Ace PHARO want to scale back into this. Why not make those 50 hills super contested and just play stagnant setups to get full 60s?
And Igor was saving his war machine to this new P1 that you're mentioning right now. Nice movement by Ace PHARO to cut back to this one. And again, to try to equalize the scoreboard. We have Katsu also fighting on, and he's gonna go for the left flank. Water bullet against Grace. Reloading, but then taken down. Annihilated by Device is gonna be the best response to Igor's war machine. At this point, we see a lot of grenades, we see a lot of utilities being brought up to the table. Kala was trying to get back also to the core. Grace is gonna bring, again, also his war machine, which gonna mean eventually an edge for Ace Gen in the end of this second P1, Connie.
So, won't be long. That contested time, though, will only really take you, I'd say, to an 8-point game. And look at the south side of the map as well. Players from Ace PHARO are rotating already. That's going to be Igor again, just playing around, looking for that regen on the specialist. The war machine's been so damaging, and there is 2 more to spend if you are in the camp of Ace PHARO. But the way Gen have it, just a single score streak. So looking to scale early now. Dwarfy has got the Sparrow available. Just a few spam shots into cash. Final one, though, will connect. But does it actually stop the original push? It might, and he's talking up just a couple kills. A great one for one to find, and a really important win, because now cash control is there, and only a swing in for a rebreak. These 40 seconds are crucial now for PHARO to take the lead.
Yeah, crucial for both sides, I would say, as they want to gain again some margin. They want to recreate the kind of edge that is going to give you the comfort on the next heal rotations. And Dwarfy trying to ramp up, trying to do a little bit more. We see Ace PHARO with a nice effort to get back into this position, but Adoma with a third elimination, 3 kills by him, 4 eventually. Adoma, what a moment, bringing his type up into the air, also with the Hunter Killer, trying to go for a 5th, but that didn't work well. Adoma, you gotta practice better this Hunter Killer, right? You gotta do that after the tip. Not the prettiest Hunter Killer I have ever seen in my life as a caster, man.
Oh, it's just difficult to watch, but never mind. Yeah. Still heavy setup, and Ace Gen actually got control of the first few seconds here. The smoke's key for the contest if you are in Ace PHARO's camp, because this will actually stall time and actually make the push even weaker for Ace Gen to defend against. These kills and headshots are only really found. It is a battle of pixel peak, and if you hear more numbers to support an Ace PHARO push, especially through Jim, as Katsu pulls out an Annihilator, getting a few lined up, even without scoping in, will find the kills, regardless of what you might think is possible with the Annihilator. Katsu just simply proves us there's more to come.
Good job by Katsu, playing as if he was a kid in the playground. Definitely doing some damage, and Adoma back on track, taking Vipex down. We see Ace PHARO now trying to go to for the 200 points. I don't know how long they're gonna take to do this one, because if they take too long, Ace Gen are gonna become confident again. They're gonna be the ones dominating the field. As we have seen before, Ace Gen, they got a very strong retake energy, as opposed to Ace PHARO getting before into the points. I would say that's eventually the best comparison we can do between both sides. One liking to be there before the other one, in the case of Ace Gen, being the team to break in and to do what you need to do, it's needed to be done to regain terrain inside of a map. But we have now two operators on the side of Ace Gen. The game is bugging. Yeah, the match is giant. The clash is huge. So even the game is going to be a little bit shaky. Grace is inside of the basketball trying to come for the bullets. I only see yellow names on the kill feed so far, meaning that Ace PHARO are doing a fantastic job to try to go for these 200 points at a set, Connie. But this kitchen again being a very, very interesting battlefield.
I know, and the problem is that Ace PHARO don't actually rotate any players through there. There was 3 from Ace Gen to commit through to it. What Ace PHARO wanted to do on that hill was play for the full 60, but sent every single player there to reinforce, and it's paid off. The first and cross over 200 points. They're firmly in the driving seat now, as we'll go over to, again, that second installation of the P5. Tim there gets a couple added to the board, wipes out the initial push in which Gen want to install, and now we see pretty much a similar setup and a similar story to that first one. Only 2 players either side committed inside the hill. There are just simply the spawners way too close across all 4 entry points, and the nades will be thrown directly off spawn. The way in which Gen are losing these fights, they're definitely panicking. They're hesitating to make a play, but they're not shy to throw the nades.
But that's the thing. Ace Gen, they do not have time anymore to just hesitate. They have to come in. They have to fight for this one. We're talking about a 40 points, 60 points to be fair, edge on the side of Ace PHARO at this moment, hopping into 230 points. They are becoming the winners on this one, as we see Katsu doing such a great job. He was a human barricade here to protect the kitchen against Vipex, and now just 7 points, 6. It's a final countdown, ladies and gentlemen. Like that, we see Ace PHARO winning the map. And also, oh my god, lockers on. We're gonna have to see what is gonna happen on the next P1. 250 finally in the score. There it is, victory on their side, and just like that, Ace Gen defeated and taken off the competition. Ace PHARO proving their points and beginning the series as a whole in a very high note, Connie, and finding their way to the grand finals tomorrow.
Brilliant, brilliant news, and wonderful for Ace Gaming in general. I mean, I think 2 teams actually make it to this point in a grand final. It's going to be a win-win regardless. I guess really at this point, you're just kind of sticking favorites and kind of assuming, your primary roster against your secondary roster, they're the ones to go through. But it was a close contest. I would only say, really, the main MVP at that point was Adoma. 44 kills as shown in the game. And at that point, again, when we are looking at Ace PHARO, of course, Katsu was the main proponent, the person stepping up, constantly getting those high kill games. It just adds a bit of value as well, given that Grace hasn't really fallen off the tree too far. It's just, I'd say in terms of both, it's beautiful to watch. And I definitely would say Ace PHARO are the deserved winners here.
Yeah, very, very close match. Nicely played by both sides. And Ace Gen, they made their effort. They did whatever they could, but not today. It was not possible after they had a very successful run on, I would say, the control raid. They did not manage to reproduce that kind of gameplay into the second raid. So, yes, we're going to have to see Ace PHARO against Cast Esports tomorrow for the grand finals in my channel, in Africa Mobile Championship channel as well on YouTube. So just make sure you guys to subscribe to our channels and follow us on socials. I'm still showing the stats screen here, Connie, because we've seen, such a gracious, if I can say, gameplay level by Grace. Your Grace, your honorly Grace, doing a very, very good job with the War Machine. And Adoma stepping up, right? I have not seen Adoma, I don't know, other than today, like, playing this well. Adoma, definitely, he slept very well from yesterday to today. He's had, like, a special orange juice, and he's done it all. He was the beast.
Of course, Adama's usually filling support roles for this team. I haven't really seen a moment in which Adama has been crucial, you know, just definitely there to fill a rotation, fill a heavy fight. But this actually, I'd say Raid is almost like Adama's second home. Also put on an amazing showing in the control as well. I think went 39 and 29 in that too. So I think it's just map specific. Adama is just wonderful to watch and definitely took over in parts for Katsu. And it was nice to see Katsu have help, you know. It was nice to see Katsu actually have help on the map in the form of Adama. So I got to tip it. It's wonderful.
It was very good. Very nice to see. We are back to our cameras, folks, as we are beginning to wrap this stream. Was such a great job on both teams, on both sides. And I was very excited. I mean, I was expecting for a second map on the hands of Ace Jan. I wanted them to do, you know, a 4-2 eventually, like, and I don't know, to show more of whatever they were able to do over the championship, but not today, because Ace PHARO, they were like totally dominant and superior, and that is just to show you guys the level of the African scene, right, Connie? Because these teams, they are just beginning to work, beginning to operate as squads and try to have chances on championships. And I mean, I am totally positively surprised by the level of, as I said before, the amount of 3-2 matches we've seen in this championship just makes me very excited for the next editions.
Absolutely. It's just been a wonderful time, a wonderful opportunity. And again, only going to be up from here on out. And I just think Ace might be one of the juggernauts to really take down, setting up already a target on their back for next season. Because they've got two teams now which have made it through to this spot. Again, it's very hard to do as an organization, so you got to give their hats off and applaudits to Ace to actually build two rosters simultaneously, which can take it this far. Again,
yes,
that's only one portion of the mission. Tomorrow's going to be a new day and another new challenge, and it's going to be the biggest one yet thus far in the AMC.
Oh yeah, so I want to appreciate you guys. Want to say thank you all who stayed with us so far. It was an honor to cast to you guys again in English. Making this transition that I'm trying to do to the American, to international markets. So it was awesome to have you all here. And make sure to tune in with us tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to have Connie casts with Narski and our potentially other African casters casting the grand finals in English for you all. So just make sure to tune in with us. I'm going to be casting in Brazilian Portuguese with Jigjoy. So yes, it's going to be great. Let's all have a nice night and nice piece of rest, because tomorrow is going to be promising, Connie. Thank you, man. It was very fun to cast with you again.
Oh, I love casting with you. It's always fun. And not the end for sure. We'll enjoy this one, and we'll enjoy tomorrow as well. In Portuguese, I might get the dictionary out for tomorrow for that one.
Yeah, one day you're going to be casting in Portuguese. I want to see you trying to cast in Portuguese, right? One day. I'm going to be pushing.
Yeah, I'm going to need about a 600-day streak on Duolingo for that to ever happen, you know. That's just a minimum requirement.
Do a marathon in Duolingo and, you know, try your chances. I'll be here to help. Thanks, man. It was awesome. Valeu, galera. Obrigado, amigos. Mais uma vez, fechando em português a transmissão. Foi uma delícia narrar para vocês em inglês. Amanhã estarei aqui com a Jigjoy às 6 da tarde do Brasil, cobrindo a grande final da nossa African Mobile Championship em bom português. Melhor de 7, tá bom? Ace PHARO contra o time da Cast Esports. Aquele abraço. Tamo juntos. É nóis. Valeu.